I got a call from my ex and I won't flex that bitch. Got a call from my ex and I won't text that bitch. Someone tell her leave me alone so I can do my shit. I'm a top notch bitch and I'm all she with. She won't stop that shit, she aggressive for the dick.
This is Britt-Brat here with Britt-Brat Productions. I got a local Charlotte artist right here. I got Tarzan Figz.
Appreciate that for having me. Appreciate that for having me.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
Britt-Brat Production. You already know how we do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I want to start by saying thank you again for allowing me to come.
Oh no, I appreciate you for even coming through. Just so you know, come see about your guy.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Who is Tarzan Figz?
Well, Tarzan Figz is a person of varieties. You know what I mean? I won't put myself in one category because I'm an artist. I'm a dancer. I do music. I do comedy. A lot of my friends say I'm the funniest dude in the crew, and I ain't even gonna cap. I know I'm funny, but sometimes they put me in the role as a pretty boy, but I know I'm not a pretty boy. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I just got my own style. You know what I'm saying? And I'm from Charlotte. I'm from CLT. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Mill Road. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to EE. You know, BMG. Shout out MRY. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Ottawa. You already know 740. Shout out every side. I fuck with every side. Off the rip. Every side. You know what I'm saying? I'm versatile with this shit when it comes down to the city. I love everybody. You know what I mean?
When did you get started with your rapping? Like, what got you inspired? What got you into it?
Actually, as a kid, I played drums for my grandma's church. I was probably around like 12 years old. And a guy lived beside the church, and he had a studio in there. He knew I smoked weed. He knew I was the drummer. He was like, little nigga, you be smoking weed. And I was probably like 13 years old. And I remember the first song I made, it was called My Whip Got Swag. And probably like the first bars was like, that was that flip flop paint like a fish up on the surface, and that's when I know I had a little bit of ours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I said that, he was like, "Bro, I gotta work with you. I gotta work with you." And then like it sparked it in my mind, like, "Bro, you gotta work with words." You know what I mean? And it died down for a while, but then when I turned 18, I moved to Rhode Island, and I met a guy named Elo. Shout out Elo. I met a guy named King Handsome, Scheme, Jim Browse. All of them helped me with my music. They let me know that, look, bro, you got a sound that nobody else has, and you deliver it in a way that you touch people's soul. It's not just making somebody bounce. You can do that in anybody's song, but you touch souls. So that's what put the passion into me to do the music, and I won't give up.
Okay,
I will not give up.
I can dig that. So, you came back to Charlotte.
Yeah.
At what age?
I came back to Charlotte around the age of 24, 25.
And what was your goal when you was coming back?
Actually, I had no necessarily goal. It was more so I was pushed back to come to the city. And only reason I came back to the city was because my mother was going through a surgery, and she wasn't, how you want to say it? She was trying to avoid it. Okay. And I got two brothers, and I got an older brother and a younger brother. You know, free Big Merc, free Lil Wilbo, the finesse kid. And when he come out here rapping too. But they both got yards. Big brother doing 8, little brother finna do 13 months. And long story short, I knew that they couldn't be here to take care of my mom or my dad. My dad, he around his 60s, and I let it be known that I'm gonna step up there and I'll take that road. You know, so I come out here, I get a job, and I make sure I take care of my family. Put the money on the bills. We own the house, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just doing my part. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so who's the rappers out here that inspired Tarzan Figz?
I'm gonna say off the real Straight Drop Gang from the east side. Shout out y'all boys when y'all had that group, man. I'll be 100. J Mike, man. I used to listen to J Mike day and night. Shaq, and you know, throughout the tragedy, RP Bezo, you know what I'm saying? He fly high right now. Throughout the tragedy, they still made music. No, I can't forget about my boy goddamn Woody, Tang. You already know, Tang. They say we sound alike, bro, but you know, we from the same hood, so it ain't nothing new. At the end of the day, Tang influenced me a lot, man, with that thuggin' like his leader. We played that shit back to back to back to back to back to back. So it turned into a jubilee for all of us, you know what I'm saying? So for all of us, it was a good thing that y'all made music, man. You inspired the young boys, the little hood babies, to even, you know what I'm saying, want to do this shit. So now that we doing this shit, we in it.
So I know we was talking earlier, and you were saying how you used to always be in the background of your people, and you kind of, you know, was doing your own thing. So tell me how that came about.
Myself, I was more so like a hood baby that just hung around everybody who was doing shit. You know what I'm saying? I was in the mid, just, you know, just being a brother. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, back in the day, shit would pop off. We rode 15 people deep on Barrington Road, walking through Brittany's, going to the Oaks, standing at the KT. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the one selling the weed at the KT. I sold my little weed, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I did whatever I had to do. But, you know what I'm saying? I learned from the OGs being out there and what they taught me, and how, you know, bruh's getting dark, go in, some shit gonna go down tonight. You know what I'm saying? I learned from that as a hood baby, just to be like, you know, my mind's strong enough to survive. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And my partner's still alive. Free Steph. Steph got a life sentence when he was only, what, 15, 14 years old. And that was my right-hand man, and I introduced him to the hood. You know, it's a tragedy, but I talked to him yesterday. He's doing good. You know what I'm saying? We still send money to him. We still make sure he's okay, check on his mom and all that. At the end of the day, man, I'm just being a good person to my neighborhood and being a good person to everybody overall, the universe. You know what I'm saying?
What's the first couple songs you dropped? Like, what's the first EP?
Actually, my first EP is this picture. Well, my first mixtape was this picture right here on the wall. It's called True Thug Life Poet. And True Thug Life Poet, I named it TTLP, you know, to abbreviate it. But True Thug Life Poet, just to let them know that not only that I'm spitting poetry, but it's true poetry. And it's coming in the form, my music comes in the form of lyric, but it's poetry when I spit it. My first album dropped, it was 13 songs on it. It was dedicated to Stealth and my homie Marley Rowe. They had got locked up for murder. Back on Halloween, I think 2016 or probably around like 2016 to 2013, something around that area. And, when they got locked up for murder, it really touched me, because that was like the guys I grew up with through, like, you know, elementary all the way up to high school. We grew up together and we was partners from the same neighborhood. It touched me to my soul, so I felt like I needed to make my first mixtape dedicated to them. And then Jungle Book came about because I got a good friend named Juju. Shout out Ju. Ju was like, look, man, music is starting to go from shows to streaming. So I'm gonna help you put your stuff on streaming so that you can produce numbers and make money for yourself. Which was a blessing, because I had already had in my mind, and I'm the type of person that'll talk in my mind and talk to God.
Right.
God, I need $2,000 in a week, $2,000 in a week, and all of a sudden somebody come with me a job, oh, I'll pay you $200, you know what I'm saying, like, and that's manifesting God, you know what I'm saying. And then, like, when I'm sitting around and ain't nothing going on, I'll say, look, I need to hit the studio, I need some music out, I need to drop some music, Juju called me, bro, I put your stuff on Spotify. So God works with me a lot. That's why I believe in God so much, you know what I'm saying. I mean, I still have my thug ways. Don't get me wrong, I still throw gang songs, all that extra shit. But ain't no gang, we ain't no gang, we just a hood. You know how they go. Everybody got their hood signs. North got their hood signs, South, West, they all got their signs. But I rep Monroe, you know how that go. You know what I'm saying? This is how it go.
What's the top 5 Tarzan Figz songs that the people need to go listen to?
First off, you need to hear My Mayo. If you're a female and you like to twerk, and you like to, you know, do your little fans only, My Mayo gonna have you twerking. My Dedication, I put that more so on a J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar vibe, you know what I'm saying, with more heartfelt, more from the soul. That's My Dedication. We got 14 Bops. 14 Bops is more so one of them songs that I did, like, strictly for the hood, you know what I'm saying. We talking guns, we talking that trap shit, however you want to see it. We talked it all out, like I said, versatility. And we did that, and then I got a song in there called 5 Minutes. And the reason why I called it 5 Minutes is because I made it in 5 minutes. Studio dude told me straight up, Leo Sound, he worked with the baby. He made the baby's 4 VM mixtape up there in Boston. I was in Boston and I was working with Leo Sound, and he told me I had 5 minutes left on my session. He said, do you want to do anything else before you end the session? I told him, look, I can go in there and freestyle off this beat. I went in there, I sung that damn beat, and I had nothing written down, nothing else. And when we heard it, they was like, bruh, you got a talent the way you go in there and knock it out and get it done. And I respected it, you know what I'm saying? I took that to the heart. And from that point, you know what I'm saying, working with a person who work with other artists that's in the game, I know I can put my foot in the door. I know people can get me in the door, and I'm willing to put other people in the door at the same time, you know what I mean? But as for now, I'm making sure that my portfolio is stacked up, you know what I mean?
Right.
But 5 Minutes is a good song. I recommend you go to Spotify, YouTube, Google Tarzan Figz, F-I-G-Z, Tarzan F-I-G-Z. It'll pop up, you'll see it, it's up there, straight like that.
So how did you get Tarzan Figz? How did you get your rap name?
Okay, so when I was younger, I had started first growing my dreads, and I twisted my dreads myself. I still twist them myself to this day. Like, never went to the shop, none of that. And my cousin Tangy, she had green dreads, and she would come over and she'd be like, "You don't look like Boosie no more," because that's what they called me in high school, like Boosie Fade. But she said, "You don't look like Boosie no more, nigga. You look like a Figz. You look more like a Fig. I'm gonna start calling you Figz." And I'm like, okay, boom. So she called me Figz. So on the other hand, I went to Rhode Island. And by the time I got to Rhode Island, I had dreads that's probably about like this long. And Chief Keef was just popping with that, everybody loves Sosa, older, older. And they would call me Chief Keef. But it made me mad because I was making music myself. So I was like, you know what? To keep everybody from calling me Chief Keef, I'm gonna call myself Tarzan. You know what I mean? And so they hooked on to it. And I'm known up north as Zan. Down here, I'm known as Josh and Figz, or Figolito or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But they won't call me Zan in Charlotte. Up there, they call me Zan. Up there in New York and Connecticut and New Hampshire, Mass, they call me Zan. But that's how the name came about.
So what's the life like for Tarzan Figz? Like, what's like your everyday life task?
My everyday life task is to make sure my kids is great.
Okay.
First priority. That's the first priority. I call them every day, you know what I'm saying, to make sure they're straight. Even if they're in bed at night, tell them I love them, you know what I'm saying. I call back tomorrow. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? And then I take at least 3 to 4 trips down there to Florida just to see them. I mean, I ain't gonna say what I spend to see my kids because that ain't their business, but at the end of the day, I go hard for my kids, you know what I'm saying? And that's my motivation. That's my motivation. That and God. That and God first. God first. I ain't gonna lie. God, then my kids. But God helped me take care of these kids, so that's my motivation, and that's the reason why I'm still alive. I believe that's why I'm still here, because I was reckless like everybody else. I was a nigga with a pistol in my pocket. I still hang with guys with pistols in their pockets. I was, you know, but I had to let it go to make sure that my kids could see a better father, you know what I mean? Let them know they can be doctors, they can be engineers, they can work at NASA, they can do whatever they want to do in their life besides being a bum, you know what I mean? So that's just my whole motivation.
Do you think if you never had kids, would you be where you are today?
Honestly, because I believed in God before I had kids, I would still be alive. But I would have went through a lot more strife to get to this point. Cause the kids was motivation enough for me to be like, alright, bro, that's bullshit. Don't get into that. Or when something came to me, it's like, alright, let me turn the other cheek so I don't go to jail tonight. You know what I mean? Like, let me be the bigger person. And I ain't know what it mean in school, but now I know as far as an adult. You know what I'm saying? And it just motivated me to be a better person. You know what I'm saying? From the person I was. You know what I'm saying?
So listening to your music, because I'm just getting on the scene, I like your song Carry On. Can you tell me a little bit about how that song came about?
At that moment, my mom was real sick, and she let it be known that she needed my help because my brother's kept getting locked up, and somehow God miraculously told me that I needed to come back to Charlotte about my kids moving to Florida. My kids live down there with Rod Wave from, shout out Rod Wave, in St. Petersburg. And I didn't want to move to St. Petersburg because I was in Rhode Island for 8 years. So I told them I would continuously visit, send money, you know what I'm saying, make sure that my kids is great and all that. And then all of a sudden I came back to Charlotte, and it put me into that mode where I was just like, you know what, I gotta get my music straight thumping. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I was still in Rhode Island for a month before I came to Charlotte. And we had a basement under Elio Sound Studios. And we didn't know what we was gonna shoot at. And first thing I said was, drop a smoke bomb, bro, that's green. I got a green bandana, drop a smoke bomb, take my shirt off, I put a tank top on. You know what I'm saying? Just 2 scenes. and I ran around that empty room going crazy for Carry On, and it obviously came out to be one of them songs that people like seeing Tarzan Figz at his best. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I enjoy the fact that I made that song. It was a good thing.
Okay, I'm gonna throw some words out there to you, and I want you to tell me the first thing that pops into your head when you hear them.
Okay.
Loyalty.
It ain't even a word. It's a lifestyle.
How about trust?
You can only trust somebody if you love them.
How about a snitch?
A snitch is a snitch. Ain't no way from coming back from that.
And what about a rat?
A rat, same thing as a snitch. A rat is just somebody who do it continuously.
Wow. Now let's go back to the word loyalty.
Yeah.
He says lifestyle. Explain that.
When I say it's a lifestyle, that means loyalty goes to the people who take care of you, the people that listens to you when you're going through hard times, the people who's there for you when you're not there for yourself. And my greatest saying is, who gonna motivate the motivator? And the person that motivates you when you motivating everybody else is the person that you should be loyal to. So straight like that. You know what I'm saying?
Now I was listening to YG's new album. And he was saying how, oh I'm sorry, wrong album, excuse me, Savage Mode 2.
Savage Mode
21
2.
Savage.
With him and Metro.
Him and Metro.
Him and Metro. I ain't heard it yet, but I'll get on it.
It's really good.
It's good?
It's
okay,
good.
I'm hopping on it today.
He said a snitch, you know, is just a snitch. You know, that's a human thing.
Yeah.
Meaning if a person seen a crime and they went to go tell, that's a snitch. It's humane.
I don't agree.
You don't?
I don't agree.
Explain that.
Because if you live in a hood life, you're part of that snitch life. If you out here doing thug shit, you a snitch when it come down to shit hitting the fan. If you a regular pedestrian out here working and you ain't got nothing to do with that thug, like a white man out here just living in mansions and all that, and you happen to see somebody doing something crazy on your street and you call the police, you ain't living that thug life. You can't call that man a snitch. He trying to take care of his neighborhood, man. He a pedestrian. Right. He a citizen. He's not a snitch, okay? Let that man live, man. It's not like that. You know what I'm saying?
Now, also in that song, he also described the word rat.
Rat.
And pretty much a rat is a person in your inner circle who pretty much do what they need to do to gain whatever they need to gain out of anything. So that means taking down the whole team.
I believe he took that out of context. I would call that a leech.
A leech.
A leech.
Okay.
Somebody who's just around to make sure they benefit from everybody else. To me, a rat is somebody who continuously snitch and don't say they a snitch. You know what I mean? And they in the mix just to make sure that they can get some information. You know what I mean? On people who are doing something illegal. And it's thugs that's rats. You know what I'm saying? You got elders that's rats. You know what I'm saying? We got elders that's snitches. You know what I'm saying? Because they act like they thugs too. They sit around drinking brews and all. But at the end of the day, man, it's two different things. You know what I'm saying? A snitch is somebody who basically is telling on anything they can tell on. A rat is somebody who is gathering information so they can go back to the man and tell him straight up.
Before I let you go, before I let you slide.
Yeah.
Do we got some new music coming up? Something that we need to look out for?
We do got new music coming up. I got a song called Step on Your Toes.
Ooh.
And when I say that song right there, gonna shake some heads. Y'all gonna be like, yeah, bro, really versatile. You know what I mean? Like from Carry On to Step on Your Toes. You'll like it. I guarantee you'll like it. I guarantee you'll like it. All right, man. You already know what it is. Tarzan Figz from the Edie. You already know. 2 times. You already know how we do. Yeah, shout out my squad, man. Shout out Britt-Brat Productions for coming out, interviewing a nigga, man. You already know how that shit go. Blessings upon blessings, man. And we're gonna keep eating. CLT, East Side, West Side, North Side, South Side. Everywhere around this motherfucker, we're gonna eat. It is what it is.
Alright, but Tarzan Figz.
Hey,
we will be seeing you very soon.
Salute, man. Appreciate you for coming through.
Alright, this is Britt-Brat Productions, and we
Britt-Brat
out.
Productions, man.
She talk too much, you catch a slug in the uppercut. I hang with my thugs, that's windowing up. Figure in love with neck and some butt. I got the gas like roll up a blunt.